Hey guys, welcome back. So today I wanted to share with you my favorite wines of all time. I haven't done just a specific wine video in a little bit. I have two other previous videos, which I'll link the playlist if you're interested. But today I want to share with you wines that are all under $20, things that I think are going to be great holiday gifts, things that are great for housewarming gifts. Maybe you're going to someone's house for the first time and you really don't know what they like to drink. All of these are wonderful choices. We have Thanksgiving coming up. Maybe Thanksgiving's already happened by the time I post this, but Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, all the other holidays that you celebrate, just getting together with your family, and really just any time of the year. These are all wonderful wines, and I've tried them all. I'm going to describe them all to you and give you just really good recommendations that you can be assured that you can pick up, especially if you're not a wine drinker, but you want to give a wine, like a gift of wine. These are going to work. So I'm going to start with a wine that I just discovered this year. In fact, I discovered it when I moved to Texas. So I am hoping this is not exclusive to Texas. I know some of you had a hard time finding it. But it is the Pitch Black by Chain Gang Monterey County Red Wine. It is a California red wine. This is from 2014. I'm going to be looking down at my specs here because I want to make sure to give you everything that you'd like to know about this. So this is from California, Monterey County. It is a red blend. It is a blend of Shiraz, Tempranillo. I've watched enough wine documentaries. I should know how to say these grapes, but I don't. And Zinfandel. And Zinfandel, I've really delved into that particular grape this year, and I'm loving it. So this has lots of black fruit. It has tobacco and vanilla. And I'm telling you this, tobacco in a wine, you're like, But hold up, it gives it that smoky flavor. And mixed with the vanilla, it smooths it out. And not only does this wine smell amazing, but it's so smooth. It's very fruity. That slight smokiness just leaves you thinking, wow, what is that? I really like it. I love this wine. I don't have every single one of these wines in my house right now. I have 3 of them, so I'm just going to put up pictures on the screen of the ones I don't currently have. But the next one is a Zinfandel, and it's from Trentadue in California. It's the Storia Zinfandel. This is, oh my gosh, this was my first introduction to just a pure Zinfandel wine, and it came on recommendations from one of the managers that works at this local place where I go and buy my wine. And she recommended it to me because I kind of told her what I like to drink and everything. And she said, you should try that Zin. And so I did. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is lovely. So I'm going to let you know that if you're not a huge red wine drinker, I assure you all of these are going to be ones you're going to enjoy because they're more on the sweeter side. Now, a little background, I'm going to get back into the Zinfandel, I promise. A little background, though, I don't love a Pinot Noir because it's too light for my taste. I kind of like put it in the aspect of like if you're a coffee drinker or tea, like you have tea, you have a light roast coffee, medium roast, and dark roast. I would put Pinot Noir more in that tea, light roast coffee family where it's very light bodied, it feels very airy in your mouth, not a lot of depth, not a lot of density. But if that's maybe more your jam, that is fine. It's just not my particular one. A lot of the things I like are more like a Merlot to a Cabernet to a Zinfandel. I love red blends, and so that's what you're going to see a lot of things here. I also have a white wine recommendation too. I'm not leaving you white wine lovers out. Back to the Zinfandel. I should have said that in the beginning, but I never really think about what I'm going to say before I say it. I should probably do that. Okay, so the Zinfandel has very soft tannins. It's very medium to full body, lots of berries, you'll see that theme through a lot of the things. I like a very berry flavored wine. I don't like something too spicy or too bitter. It has a little bit of oak, but don't let that scare you because it's not super oaky like a Chardonnay would be. It's just enough. Just enough to really balance out the fruitiness and the berryness of it. Highly recommend that Zin. Next, for those of you who love a sweeter wine, stay tuned here, write this down. The Gentleman's Collection Red Blend. It is a California wine once again. This is really, really fruity, very fruit forward. And when I say that, that means when you go to take a drink of the wine, the first thing you're going to get is like strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, fruit. Some things have more fruit on the finish, which means once you've swallowed it, what's left on your tongue is a little hint of berry. Now, you can swap out the berry. Some wines have a little bit more spice to them, a little bit more of that pepper. Some have just maybe not a lot of berry and just a little bit more well balanced. You know, there's different aspects on your tongue, like you have the sweet and you have the spicy, you have the bitter, and you have the, what did I not say, salty. So think of a wine that way. You want a wine that's well balanced in all those aspects. Some of them aren't as much, and that's just not my taste. I like something that's really balanced. This Gentleman's Collection, I'd say, is a little heavier on the fruit. So if you're more of like a sangria drinker, you like something that's just really like fruity and lighter, try the Gentleman's Collection. It's a little bit lighter of a wine, but very fruity. This next wine is one of the first wines I ever fell in love with when I started drinking red wines. It is always in my cupboard. It is just, for me, it's a staple. And when I can get it on sale for $7.99, I stock up. And I'm talking about the Apothic Red. I've talked about this for several years. This is the 2015 Apothic Red, and it is a California wine. This is a blend of 4 different types of grapes. We have Zinfandel, Syrah, Merlot, and Cabernet. And those are my 4 favorite red wines, like set in their own separate, like a separate just Zin or Cabernet or whatever. Those are my favorite. So this has dark fruits, a little bit of spice, but not spice as in bitter, just a spice as in like, ooh, that's good. You know what I mean? The Merlot really softens it. Merlot is a typically very mellow wine, a little fuller bodied than the Pinot Noir would be, but lighter bodied than a Cabernet. The Cabernet has a lot of ripe fruit, is what the Cabernet brings to this. The Syrah adds a hint of blueberry, which makes this so good. And then the Cabernet brings in the black cherry, vanilla, and mocha. You guys, oh my gosh, just try this. My mom's not a huge red wine drinker, and I always think of her because she started out with, like, you know, white Zin, that pink wine that's kind of wine, but not really. And she likes things that are really sweet. She likes her Moscato, she likes her Riesling, stuff like that. So I always tell her, try the Apothic Red, because this is going to be sweeter of a red because it's a blend of 4 different types of wines. There's a lot of berries in this. Try this. And she does like this. So, and this is very affordable. This is less than $10 all the time, unless you're shopping at like more of a local place where they charge a little more. But typically I can find this from $7.99 up to $9.99 at almost all of my liquor stores. Now, this has a lot of friends. There's the Apothic Dark, there's the Apothic Crush, there's the Apothic Inferno, which I don't like that one because it's aged in bourbon or whiskey barrels, and I do not like whiskey. Can't do it. So I didn't like the flavor of whiskey in my wine. I just thought that those two things should never be married. But the white version of this is Apothic White. And this is I did not write down it says in the back here. I cooked with this last night. I made the most delicious, what was it called? It was basically like a chicken. I did chicken breast with orzo, and I made a white wine sauce, and then literally ripped up some basil leaves and Parmesan cheese, and it was just amazing. This is beautiful to cook with, especially in that sauce because it added just a little bit of sweetness, and then it does have fresh lemon zest and lemon juice in the sauce as well, but this brought some sweetness, and the lemon kind of cut the sweetness. It was just a really wonderful balance. So cook with wines that you enjoy drinking, also because cooking it cooks out the alcohol, but it brings out the flavor in the wine. So don't cook with a wine that you hate because you're like, oh, I don't like how this tastes, let's just use it up and cook with it. Well, you might not like the dish, you know what I mean? So this is a blend of, let's see, it doesn't tell me. Oh, I thought it was going to. It just kind of describes the wine. Refreshing, bright, vibrant, and crisp. Yes, I'd add sweet to that as well. For me, I think this is a little bit sweet. It's very balanced. And that's my favorite wine, where we hit all 4 zones in a good mix. You know what I mean? So this is wonderful. Highly recommend this. Once again, it's in that same price range as the red. The next wine is the Menage Trois Silk. I recently tried, once again, just the regular Menage Trois red blend. I didn't love it as much. It was a lot lighter bodied than I remember it being, and I think I've just grown accustomed to having a little bit more like thick, I use the word like thickness, but just not so thin feeling in the mouth. I personally love a medium to dark roast coffee, so I liken it to that too. I'm not a huge tea drinker, where I will at nighttime, but I much prefer like coffee, and I like the taste of coffee. So the Menage Trois Silk is better than just the regular blend because of the word silk. It literally is like glass. It's just smooth, velvety in your mouth. Feels so good. It is so good. It is a wonderful one to have as well if you're going to be inviting people over, because it's one of those wines where you can open it up and drink it before you're eating the meal or before you've served appetizers or while you're doing appetizers. A lot of the wines that I'm recommending are all easy drinking. I'm a poor trucker. I like to drink my wine, not necessarily having to eat something with it. Now, there are certain situations where pairing it is wonderful, but I don't like to just drink a wine that tastes kind of bitter or that really goes better with food. All of these you can drink without food. So the Menage Trois Silk is a red blend, also from California. It is very bright in color. It's very pretty in the glass, which is another reason why it's a wonderful one to serve, because it's just visually appealing. This one has fragrance of violets and berries. It's very smooth. This one has more of that cherry and raspberries. So the cherry adds a little tartness. The raspberries kind of sweeten it out a little bit. And then I also wrote down that it has a delicate touch of rose petals and spice. So it smells really wonderful. Really wonderful wine. Definitely recommend it. I wish I could have a glass of each one of these poured while I'm doing this video, but that would be a lot of wine because I have like 11 or 12 of them to share. And we don't want to get too tipsy. Okay, so in previous years didn't ever really gravitate towards a Malbec, and I really didn't know a lot about that particular grape. But I tried this brand, Atrevida Malbec. It's a 2015 wine from Argentina, and I loved it. I posted it on Instagram earlier in the year. I try to share wines I really, really enjoy on my Instagram just so you can have a visual if you're going to go shopping or you forget or you want to screenshot it or something. But now you have this video you can save as well. And that Malbec was wonderful. And I think the reasons I loved it so much is, first of all, it was a very dark fruit. And I like the darker fruits because in the wine, it just really gives the wine some depth. Full body. It was a full-bodied wine. I love a full-bodied wine. I like to really feel the substantial, in my mouth. I don't like it to be too like watered down tasting. Silky tannins is what I wrote down here. Very silky. Once again, that's that very smooth. You're not getting like, I guess certain wines you take a drink of it and you're like, oh, or it's kind of bitter, or it feels literally like rocky in your mouth because it doesn't really go down very well, or it kind of sits oddly on the tongue after you've had it, like, oh, I don't think I like that. Very silky and a very lovely fruit finish. So that Malbec is 2 thumbs up, as my kids would say. Wonderful. Okay, so this next wine, the bottles are cute. And I've tried all of them, and it's the Wine Sisterhood. The Cabernet is what I'm going to recommend to you from California. And this is one of those, it's a little bit lighter of a Cabernet, if I remember correctly. It goes with a lot of things. We're talking burgers, ribs, pasta, pizza, basically whatever you're serving. Very easy drinking, very inexpensive. I want to say this one's usually in the $7.99 price range. It does have a bit of oakiness to it, which I like. I don't mind oak at all. I mean, I like how it balances out the berries. Like if you're going to give me a very berry wine, we need to kind of balance that out or it can become too, dare I say, too fruity. But the Wine Sisterhood Cabernet is just a really easy, affordable, good wine for the price range. Okay, this next wine, first sip, actually I opened it up, I poured it, and I smelled it. I'm like, wow, this smells amazing. I served this wine for the first time. I had made a pot roast with potatoes and carrots in the crock pot, and it was just, my pot roast turned out so good that time. I don't know what I did different because I don't follow recipes, so everything is usually different every time. But that night, it turned out amazing, and then I opened up this wine to serve with it, and it was just like, food, you can tell food gets me excited. Wine gets me excited. Just general consuming of yummy things gets me excited. But when you have a wonderful meal paired with a wonderful tasting wine, the wine brings out the flavors in the meal, and it's just, that moment is just, it's literally solidified in my mind. It was so much joy and excitement from that. It was just a wonderful meal, wonderful wine, good conversation, that kind of thing. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Carnivore Cabernet. Now, Carnivore also makes, I believe it was a Zinfandel or something, but I'm talking about the Cabernet. It is from California. Now, the funniest part of that meal was that because it was the first time we tried that wine, we both finished eating and drinking, and we looked at each other and we're like, Oh my gosh, your lips are blue. Your teeth are purple. Like, oh my gosh, do mine look like that? So it's this wine will stain your mouth. And so just know if you're going to do this for a dinner party, maybe depending on who you're inviting over, don't tell them. And then they'll go to the bathroom and be like, oh my gosh. But it definitely it has those intense, deep, dark color to it. Like literally in the bottle, it's gorgeous, but it will stain. So we're talking rich, smooth, big, bold, yet silky flavors. Just intense, but like not an overwhelming intense. It's like a very soft, I think of like a big, burly, strong man, but on the inside, he's just a little teddy bear. That's this wine to me. It's just velvety. It's got flavors of coffee, mocha, toasted oak, a little bit of berry, but you pair it with some, like a good steak, a really good, like beefy meal. Oh, pair it with some lasagna, homemade lasagna. Guys, it is wonderful. This next wine also is a really, the outer packaging is super cute. It's the Middle Sister line, and they have, they have their whites, they have a couple different reds, but my favorite is the Rebel Red. And this is also a red blend. I love a red blend because I feel like it's the best of all my favorite red wines. I love Cabernet. It's my favorite. Like single blend wines, Cabernet and Zinfandel are my two favorites. I don't mind a Merlot depending on what I'm eating, but it's a little bit lighter in the mouth. And yeah, so anyways, this is a blend. This one has plums, blueberries, blackberries, and I wrote down a dollop of creme de cassis. I'm not even sure what that is. I'm not really sure, but that is what is in this wine. It's another super affordable wine. This one is usually around the $7 to $10 price range as well, and it's outside of it's just super cute packaging. So it's Middle Sister, so like, the younger sister and the older sister. This is the middle sister, and she has this like, the label is super cute. It just draws you in. But I would check those out. Check out this red one. It's just a really easy drinking wine. So I've been saying over and over that I don't love Pinot Noir, and I don't. However, I believe it was this summer I found, or maybe it was this fall. I think this was in my September favorites video. This Love Noir Satin Red. And the reason I was attracted to it was, number one, the packaging is adorable. But it had the word satin in it, and usually that implies that it's going to be very velvety, it's very silky, very smooth on the mouth, just really lovely, lovely wine. And this one is great. So it's not your average Pinot because of the combination of flavors. So I wrote down generous notes of dark cherry and a smooth, silky finish, very fruit forward, and a hint of dark chocolate. And it just is lovely. This is a great one to actually drink with a little bit of chocolate. I don't like too sweet of a wine when I'm having dark chocolate because the flavors kind of clash in your mouth because the dark chocolate can be a little bit more slightly bitter and not as sweet. And if the wine is too sweet, it literally clashes. I can't. I believe this was a good one to do with some chocolate. And the packaging's really pretty. It is a pretty one to display, especially for the, even the Apothic Red. I mean, it's just really pretty to display or to give as a gift. The packaging always draws me in, honestly. Like, I'll read what's in the wine, and I'll read, do I like these flavors or whatever, but the initial thing that attracts me or that draws me in to try a new wine is the packaging. And I know us makeup lovers totally understand that, and then sometimes you try it and you're like, not so good. Good outside, not so good inside. I love a good outside and a good inside. So this one is the Lineshack Cabernet, and I tried this year. This is a newer wine this year to me. It's from Monterey, California as well. This one has a lot of different fruits in it. It has red currant and blackberry, rich cherry, a little bit of oak, and it says intense, deep red fruits, a full body, and a long finish. I like a long finish on a fruitier wine. I think that's lovely. That aftertaste is just like, it's so good. It's just like jam in your mouth kind of thing. I like full body. I really do. I just feel like there's a little substantialness to it. And if you're still confused about full body, think about tea. Like, tea is really thin when you drink it. And like a darker roast coffee, medium roast coffee, there's more body to it compared to like a light roast coffee you can like see the bottom of your cup because it's so thin. I like a little more substantialness to my wine. A fun idea for all of these wines, if you're looking to give somebody a wonderful gift, is to take a few of these recommendations and throw it in a cute gift basket. And I know they also make a lot of cute like wine bags and stuff like that, but that is all of my wine recommendations of my favorite ones I've ever tried. I might have forgotten a few that you've seen in previous like monthly favorite videos or whatever, but these are the ones that instantly came to my mind when I sat down to make this list of all of my favorite wines. These are my top, like absolutely top. I can recommend these to you and assure you that I absolutely love all of these. And so I hope you guys found this interesting, and if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. It helps my channel grow, and it helps my videos and my channel become more noticeable. I think that this upcoming holiday season is just a wonderful time to maybe try some new wines, or to just maybe step out of your box a little bit. I mean, we're all going to be eating lots of good food, so why not pair a good wine with it, you know? I hope you guys have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your day, and we will chat very soon. Bye, guys.